Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Joseph from Screenbite, and today we're going to be taking a look at a $70 lens. Now, I was browsing around on Amazon and this lens really caught my eye. It's a full metal build, declicked aperture, and very small 25mm lens for the Micro Four Thirds system. Now, I had to check this out, but I was a little skeptical at first. I looked online and I couldn't really find anything on Amazon about it. So these are going to be my findings, and they are video focused, but most of it can be carried over to photography. But hey, let's check it out. And there it is. So this lens is tiny. It's actually very hard to describe just how small this thing is. It's actually kind of ridiculous, but from a construction standpoint, I gotta give it the nod. For 70 bucks, full metal construction. The rings themselves are nice and smooth. However, not a whole lot of travel, so I am concerned with getting that fine focus, but we'll see. Also, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that there is going to be some breathing here when you're racking focus, just because of the way the lens element itself works. But I really am a fan of this declicked aperture ring. It's actually really nice. If we pull off the cap, there's the lens element there, so itty teeny tiny. Guessing we're having a little bit of a theme here, and let's just go ahead and play with that aperture ring. Nice and smooth, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there's 11 elements here, so you should have a very nice circular bokeh. But yeah, from a construction standpoint, gonna get an A+ from me. Let's go ahead and check it out. Now, all of my tests were shot on the GH5 in Vlog, and just so I'm not messing with the color at all, I did go ahead and apply a Rec 709 LUT just to bring it into the Rec 709 color space. But beyond that, there has been no color manipulation with this image. Now, as you can see, the image is actually quite nice, has great center sharpness, and the out of focus elements look pretty good. Also, this lens has one of the closest focusing ranges I've ever seen. I pretty much put Deadpool here right up against the lens, and as you can see, it focuses really close. Now, as you can see in that focusing, there is a lot of lens breathing with this, which I was expecting, like I said, because of the way the lens element, the focusing element itself works. But if you're not racking focus too much, you can actually get a pretty decent image. Now, out of the information I was able to find online about this lens, the main drawback that people were talking about was the edge sharpness. Now, this is the best test that I could find to simulate it here, and if you look real closely, the text in the middle is pencil sharp, super duper sharp, but as you get to the edges of the frame, it does have a slight out of focus element to it. So keep that in mind. If you are going to be getting a scene where everything is in focus, you are going to have that issue with the outer edges being out of focus. But if you are shooting anything cinematic and you do have the background ever so slightly out of focus, it's not that big of an issue. But it is something to keep in mind if you're interested in picking up this lens. Now, here is where I feel one of this lens's biggest drawbacks really starts to show its head from a video standpoint, and that is with focusing. Now, the focus ring only covers about 1/3 of the circumference of the lens, which means getting that fine focus is extremely difficult with it. As you can see, when I'm trying to shift the focus here between these two characters, it's really hard. Now, with practice, I'm pretty sure I can get it down, but when you're first picking up this lens, it is extremely hard to make sure you're getting that focus. Also, as I mentioned before, this lens does have some pretty heavy breathing, so that is something that you're going to want to keep in mind if you're purchasing this lens. Something from the more fun, artistic side of things is I really do enjoy how this lens flares. The flares are big and they're not overly pronounced, so it's definitely something you could use artistically. And last but certainly not least, because of those 11 aperture blades, you do get some very nice circular bokeh. I really enjoy the out of focus elements on this lens a lot. It's definitely one of its biggest standpoints. So in the end, the 25mm f1.8 from 7artisans for the micro four thirds mount is actually a pretty decent lens, especially for $70. I was not expecting to get the quality that I got out of it for that price point, and I find myself saying that if you're in the market for a fully manual lens and you don't want to spend an arm and a leg and you're okay with the faults that I talked about in this video, I'd highly recommend checking one out. I'll leave a link in the description down below for you guys if you want to purchase for yourself. It is an affiliate link, but as always, those do go to help the channel, so I appreciate it. But that's going to go ahead and do it for this video, guys, so thank you once again for watching. As always, if you liked it, make sure to show it by hitting that like button down below. It really helps me out. As well as if you have any questions about what I talked about today, feel free to ask it in the comments section. You can also ask those questions on Twitter at Screenbite. Also, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, feel free to subscribe. But until next time, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.